What's good, what's good, what's good, G? Peace to all my good guys, all my good people out there, man. Let's talk about it, man. Hit that like, hit the subscribe button for me, man. And remember, man, all y'all that's been donating, thank y'all, man. Donate to the Cash App, man. The Cash App information right there below, and go into my description if you need the links to click to it. You know what I mean? But all the information is right there on the screen. You know what I mean? Go straight to the Cash App, put your donations in, man. But I wanted to talk about this Young Buck thing, man. This thing is getting wicked, man. Like, it seems like every time that I see any type of news with 50 Cent, is this Young Buck thing. At first, I seen the little joke, Uncle Murder had said about Lil Murder, basically talking about the P.L.C character, you know what I mean, that was messing with the man, you know what I'm saying? But I just feel like Buck been going through some real crazy events, you know what I mean? Especially, I feel like when Kid and Tony Yayo and Banks, they all came together to do that G-Unit album. I mean, it was at a celebrating moment. You know what I mean? Everybody was coming together, big concerts and stuff like that. And I feel like the relationship was good. And all of a sudden we see Banks, I think, with Game or something. And Buck was like kind of acting like a girl. That's how everybody was feeling like about Buck. He was acting like a girl in this situation, talking about you in trouble and all of that. You know what I mean? Game checked them, then Whack 100 checked Buck. You know what I mean? But then I don't know, it's just something with Buck character where he always seemed to go against the fence or be in these type of situations, man. Like I said, I don't know if it's drug use or what, but it seemed like it was at one point in time that Young Buck was about to go down the King of the South at one time. I mean, that's how lit Buck was doing the G-Unit run. But then it just seemed like everything just fizzled out, man. He was messing with Monica, Trina, all of this. Like, Buck was that guy from the South. And then it all kind of like fizzled out a little bit. And then right now we sitting there looking at Buck from the videos that was showed of him and the trans guy. You know what I mean? That was out. And then like everybody was saying, why was Buck kept having phone conversation with this individual? If you wanted something to die off, you just leave it alone. You don't even keep talking about it. Because anybody can take a video and get somebody that looks similar to you and do some voiceovers and stuff and make it seem like you. You know what I mean? But you having conversations with the guy made you look suspect by even talking to him, that's why I be saying a lot of these guys, they too busy getting high all up that they not paying attention to stuff around them. And then they ego tripping. A lot of these guys, they ego be so big that, oh yeah, I'm rough you up, all that tough guy stuff. I wouldn't have done none of that. If I'm in a position like they in, the only thing I would be doing is just not ignoring all of that stuff. I wouldn't be responding to them. I'm not going to pay you nothing. I'm not even having a phone conversation with you. You know what I mean? The best thing you can do in those situations is just ignore it. You know what I mean? But he kept feeding into it, having phone conversation. The person kept putting up videos and stuff like that. And then we go years down the line. Now we see this situation with his girlfriend. And, you know, 50 Cent on Instagram playing little jokes and stuff like that. And it's like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Busting at the homie. You know what I mean? A domestic type of situation. It's like, where we going at now, Buck? You know what I mean? 50 Cent was taking all his music off the YouTube and stuff like that. This is extorting them. I just feel like, man, in life, bro, you got to know your position and know your place and know how to handle yourself and not be ego tripping. I think Buck been ego tripping a lot. You know what I mean? And probably using things that you don't need to be using was conflicting his way to react to different things. You know what I mean? So like I said, with the whole thing with the trans guy, I would have never responded to that. I would never paid him no money. I would have never said anything to him. Go ahead and put that stuff out. Do what you want to do. You know why? Because it's fake. You know what I mean? But to entertain it is foolishness. I'm not, because there's so many people coming at all different types of celebrities, man. It's up to them to believe your story or their story. And you got the leverage because you got the popularity. But to give your leverage away by even stooping to a level of that person, that shows that you got some type of guiltiness. You know what I mean? It's almost like that little murder situation where you're trying to keep everything in a closet and you don't want nobody to know who you is. You know what I'm saying? Now we got this thing with the domestic thing, and oh, now 50 involved with having the girl do this and that. You know what I'm saying? It's like all these rumors and stuff going around. I just feel like being accountable and holding yourself at the highest honor is all you can do at this point. And when I'm looking at Young Buck, I'm looking at a person that was worth multi-millions of dollars They had a great deal, great situation with 50. 50 paid his taxes off and looked out for him in so many different ways. Now you on the internet dissing 50 and doing all type of crazy stuff. Now you don't even see Banks and all these guys coming out like that. Even if they did a record, right, it could be subliminals all in their joint. They not directly doing none of this. They not even playing these games. Why? Because it's not even worth it. Because at the end of the day, you didn't have to have those opportunities. You wasn't an original genuine member anyway. You know what I mean? You was riding around with Cash Money in them. You know what I mean? Juvenile when he left you. You know what I mean? So for 50 to give you opportunity and a chance, the flourish in what you did, you had a platinum album, you was doing good. But it's like the drug use, the excessive ego thing. You know what I mean? You know how a person start to feel like they some type of boss, but they really ain't. They just got a position of power. You know what I mean? You could be knocked down at any moment, at any second. I just feel like Buck didn't know his position, man. That the whole reason Buck got kicked out of G on it was the use of just overusing stuff and blowing through. They say he blew through millions of dollars just using that stuff up his nose. You know what I'm saying? Millions of dollars, they say. Just blew a lot of money, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, when you in that game, bro, like you see the Waynes and stuff like that, but you gotta understand Birdman made sure Wayne was great. You know what I mean? 50 is doing his own thing. He don't have time to be babying dudes and stuff. And you gotta think about it. Cash Money is just music, really. You know what I mean? Whereas like 50 is movies. He doing all TV shows. He's enterprising his brand to the next level. And what I see when I see stuff like this, I always look back and just think about it. From Jay-Z and the state property guys, and we look at all of them back in Philly. You know what I mean? They not nowhere near where they supposed to be as far as their talent. Freeway, all of them guys, Benny Siegel. These guys should be living in big mansions, you know what I mean? Had artists underneath them signed. You know what I mean? But it just seemed like, I always feel like what Game said in the jump, he tried to give you the game, which, you know what I mean? When you get in the game from these guys, you got to take it and soak it in and elevate your career. Because when I look at this Young Buck thing, it's a sad story, man. Sad story with drugs.